Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Tawnie. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and welcome to today's Tawnie Talks. I'm going to go ahead and pull from a fishbowl of questions and see who we can help today. Today's question reads, Dear Tawnie, I'm moving to a new city and I want to meet new friends, but I want to make sure that I choose good friends and not repeat the same mistakes I made in the past city of choosing not great friends. What type of people do I look for when I'm looking for new friendships? What a great question, and I'm sure a question that many of us can relate to. Well, over here where I'm at, it's springtime. The flowers are blooming. It's getting warmer. We're setting up our patio furniture. So, yes to spring, no to these types of friendships, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and list 5 friendships today that you want to stay away from. Now, listen, this is not an exhaustive list. There are several other types of friends that I would advise you stay away from, but today I'm just going to stick to 5, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Want to pay attention to these friends, and they can cross over in some of the other categories, but I'll do my best to define them for you. So, friend number 1 is going to be the friend that's ultra competitive. This is going to be the friend that wants to one-up you in every conversation. If you ran a mile, guess what? She ran 3 miles. If you bought a new bag, she bought 3 new bags. If your kid did well in school, her kids did it even better. So it's always a competition with this friend. Every time you say something, she's got a better story. She wants to one-up you. If you purchased a new car, she thought about purchasing that car, but thought that it wasn't that great, so she purchased an even better one. Maybe even after lots of research, proving that you did not make the best decision. Shame on you. This might be the friend that if your child goes to the same school with her, she wants your child to do great, but not better than hers. So she might withhold information from you about knowing about school events. She might not invite your child to certain events that your child feels left out. This is not a friend that you want to involve in your inner circle, okay? Now, friends like this are helpful because they can give you knowledge, and as they're spouting the stories of how wonderful they are, listen carefully because you can learn a lot of information from that. They could give you a heads up about an event coming up or a heads up about somebody else that you kind of want to pay attention to. So you can learn information from these people. They're useful people to have in your life. Definitely not somebody I would want in my inner circle. They're constantly going to make you feel less than them because they're using you to inflate their own ego, and you are not a person to be used to inflate anybody else's ego, okay? You are amazing. You are fabulous in your own might, and you don't need anybody to downplay your stories or your achievements, all right? Friend number 2 to stay away from, the friend that abuses alcohol or is addicted to drugs. Now, I have a big heart for these types of people, and I pray for them. I want them to get help and get recovery and live their best lives. However, these are people that you do not want to allow in your inner circle. Their behavior might be erratic. They might have severe mood swings. They can drunk dial you on a day that's very special to you, and if you allow it, completely ruin your day. This might be the friend that all of a sudden you say something, they take the wrong way, they take it sideways, and they have a public meltdown in a public restaurant, making you the enemy and embarrassing you and embarrassing themselves. They don't know what to say at certain points. They can't even remember past events. They are drama filled. They might even hit you up for money to be able to purchase alcohol or drugs. Their behavior is unpredictable. They're not trustworthy. They're certainly not dependable. You don't know what kind of mood you're going to get when you speak to them. They have a very take attitude and never much of a give attitude. They're just not really there. And so when you meet this type of person, you might invite them over for some coffee and they might show up with hard liquor, or you might invite them over for a children's event and they show up already intoxicated. So you kind of want to stay away from these types of people. Pray for them, hope the best for them, wish them well in their recovery. It's not to say that these people can't change. They can become sober, and that's when I would advise you to consider allowing these types of people back in your life if they have become sober and they're able to control their behaviors, if they've shown remorse and regret for how they've treated you in the past and they've truly changed and you've seen a pattern, a predictable healthy behaviors and attitudes from them, then I would consider allowing these people back in my life when you feel safe. Okay, so that's friend number 2 to avoid. Friend number 3 to avoid is the gossiper. This friend might be the one where as soon as you meet them, maybe you move into a new neighborhood and they're there with all the juicy details of every single neighbor down the street that you live on. So stay clear from this friend. They might be the friend at school where they know everyone's intimate details and they're spreading gossip. They're saying bad things about other parents or spreading gossip about other children. They're spreading gossip about about people you might not even know or even care about. So when you're in a group of people who are gossiping and speaking negatively about others, I would advise you to kindly excuse yourself and join another group, walk away, or don't even participate. Because sooner or later, they're going to realize that you're not participating. And then it can go two ways when you're not participating in their gossip. They can outcast you and not want anything to do with you because they don't feel safe around you because you're not partaking in their gossip and their hate. Or they can choose to continue to be around you and just not gossip anymore. Let's hope for the latter. But when someone's saying something bad about someone behind their back, and we've learned this from when we were little children, stay away from these types of people. They're not healthy for you. They're not secure in who they are. And saying something negatively about somebody is never a good look. Now, there is a caveat to this. Want to point this out. If it's a fact that's happened to them, so let's say that they truly had a negative interaction with someone was rude to them, and it's a fact that happened to them, then by all means, to me, that's sharing their feelings, their experiences, wanting to bond and share and process with you. That's very different than gossiping about somebody, spreading rumors that hasn't happened to them, and trying to tarnish someone's reputation. Okay, so stay away from this type of friend, the gossiper. Okay, stay away from the group that you're in. If your friends gossip and you try to say, you know what, let's not say bad things about people, I'm sure there's two sides to every story, and you immediately feel shut down, that's not going to be the group for you. Friend number 4 that you want to stay away from is the insecure friend. This might be a friend who, when they first meet you, they're love bombing you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. We've got to be best friends. Let's go hang out. What are you doing this weekend? Can you have dinner with me? They are so insecure. They're latching onto you, and all of a sudden, you are their world. They'll neglect their husband, their kids, even their dog or cat just to be with you. Stay away from this type of friend. They're insecure. You might not return their text messages right away or return their calls right away, and all of a sudden, there's something wrong. You must be angry with them, and they're blowing up your phone with text messages, calling you, wanting to meet up to make sure everything's okay between the two of you, when you're just out there living your regular life, being busy. Stay away from these types of insecure friends because they're not healthy for you. They want to cling to you. They're the type of friend that just feels exhaustion. You're just so exhausted every single time. This type of friend wants to just cling to you. You feel exhausted being around them. You feel like you can't even go live your best life, hang out with your other friends or your family without them feeling left out, making you feel guilty. Stay away from this type of insecure friend. You don't have the time to babysit anyone's emotional baggage or neediness. Go live your best life, wish them well, and hope that they get to go live their best life too, but stay away from the insecure type of friend. Friend number 5 you want to stay away from is the victim mentality friend. This is the type of friend who every time you meet with them, there's a sob story to tell. They have been the victim of something atrocious that has happened to them, and it might even be somebody looking at them in a not nice way. They're full of drama. Their whole life is drama. They've got drama with their husband, with their kids, with the teachers at their children's school, with the neighbor down the street. Everywhere they go, something dramatic has happened to them, and it's always them being the victim. You might be done having a wonderful brunch with good food, but you feel completely exhausted because the entire time they're telling you sob story after sob story about how terrible their life has been and how sad they are, and you can't even enjoy your meal. This is a friend that just sucks the energy out of you and is just, they can't find a happy bone if their life depended on it. So stay away from the drama-filled friend, the friend that always paints herself as a victim, and you're just there to kind of play that little sad violin and wipe up all the tears for them. These types of friends will suck the energy out of you, and you don't have the time to be anyone's crying pillow. Wish them well, hope they get the help they deserve and need, and even model for them what assertive behavior looks like. Sit up straight, talk about how wonderful your day has been and how wonderful things have happened to you and how that's impacted your day, and hopefully that will impact theirs. However, based on patterns of their behavior, I will say that this would most likely not be the case. You are no one's crying pillow. Wish them well, hope that they find the help that they need, but you don't need to be there being sucked out of all of your energy and having too many brunches and lunches ruined by sob story after sob story. So these are the 5 friends I would advise that you stay away from. 1, the ultra competitive friend. 2, the alcoholic drug abusing friend. 3, the gossiping friend. 4, the insecure friend, and 5, the drama-filled friend. So again, this is not an exhaustive list. There are lots of other red flags out there when looking for friendships. I do want to do a side note about ghosting. Let's say you meet a friend or a potential friend, and she seems really nice, but she's just not your cup of tea. Maybe you've met her at a social event, you talked to her for a few minutes, she seemed to really like you, asks for your number, you kindly give it to her. She texts you, see if you want to get together, and you don't know what to do. Your inner instinct says, I don't want to get together with this person and get to know them, so I don't know how to respond. I would encourage you not to ghost this person. What is ghosting? It's when you completely go radio silent, you act like you don't even know they existed, and you don't return any calls or text messages after you've given them your phone number. I would encourage you to have the courage to reach out to them and reply and just say, it was so nice meeting you. I'm just in a really busy season of my life right now. I wish you well, and I hope great things for you. Or you can say, right now is not a good time for me to meet, maybe some other time. Or if you want to, just be honest and just say, it was so nice to meet you. Unfortunately, I don't think that I have the capacity to have any new friendships right now, but I really wish the best. And it was so nice of you to reach out and a pleasure to meet you. Say something like that instead of just completely ghosting someone, because ghosting people can lead to hurt feelings. You don't know what they're going through. Maybe they're going through something and they just wanted a new friend to speak with, to process with. Maybe they've moved to a new city. Maybe they're grieving and they were in their own way trying to reach out to talk to somebody. So you don't know what someone's going through. I think ghosting is incredibly childish, rude behavior. I think it's far nicer to at least elicit a kind response when you're not interested in a friendship with someone. Okay, so I hope these tips have been helpful. Listen, as of today's video, we have 1 subscriber, 0 comments, no shares. So I want to challenge you, if you'll be the first 10 subscribers to this channel, leave a comment, like and share this video, help me grow this channel so that I can reach more people and hopefully help answer some questions that people might not be able to ask. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Listen, if no one's told you today yet, I want you to know how special, how unique, and how wonderful you are. There's no one like you in the whole wide world, and I hope you have an amazing day.